Good Saturday morning, my friends. It is the weekend. It is a long weekend, which is even more wonderful. We've got a lot of plans this weekend. Nothing particularly fun that I know of. We have... Why is the shed open? We have lots of work to do as far as getting ready for the patio to be put in. That's not going to happen for like another month, but we have some things we have to do. We have to move our irrigation line that goes to the garden. So that is on the agenda for today. It shouldn't be too horrible, especially since we've had rain for like 5 or 6 days. Yesterday when I did my menu, when I was filming my menu plan, I was like, oh, the sun's out. This is wonderful. Yeah, it didn't last. Didn't last. Rained again yesterday. So it's great for the garden. And you know, that way, if we have a little bit of a drought come summer, hopefully, or a little bit of time without rain, hopefully all this rain this spring will help out with that. So, you know, yeah, it stinks, but what are you going to do? And we need the rain. So you just suck it up and you do it. We were supposed to make dinner last night on the uni, but right around dinner time it started to rain. And normally, like if we grill in the rain, we just put the umbrella up. But with the uni, you just and the wind kicked up, and you cannot use the uni in the wind because it will put the flame right out because, you know, it's an open oven. So we ended up just doing the pizza in the house, which was fine. I was just disappointed. I really wanted to use the uni last night. But it is what it is. We have no rain in the forecast for like 3 or 4 days. So that's exciting. All that rain's going to make it easy to dig up the irrigation line because the ground is nice and soft. So that's a positive. You always have to find the positives. Always have to look for the positives. What else do we want to do today? That's probably honestly all we'll get to today. We are ripping a few bushes out in the front. When we built this house 20-some years ago, we put in some fire bushes, some boxwoods, some azaleas. We've replaced the azaleas a couple times. Azaleas are tough to grow. My mom and dad had them, and they were like gargantuan. We put them in thinking they're easy to grow, and we've replaced them a few times, and they're still not great, but they're okay for now, I think. I'm not going to touch those. But we have a couple boxwoods that were damaged over the years by snow and ice that were just starting to die. So we want to replace those. That's been on the list since spring hit. I don't know if we'll get to that today. It's not going to be a huge deal. I think we're just removing 3 or 4 of them and replacing them. It'll look a little odd because we'll have some big ones and some small ones, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We also want to dig out the side and put a few bushes in there. Who knows when that'll get done. But these are all the plans. All the plans. All just kind of getting ready for the patio, and this is the summer to focus on the yard. You know, a couple summers ago, it was a focus on the chickens, and then it was a focus on the garden, and last summer was a focus on Doug. Hopefully this summer we can do the focus on the yard. But anyway, that's the plans. We will see. I do not have dinner planned tonight because I wasn't quite sure what was happening here. Adam is leaving in a little bit to go pick up Bella and bring her down for the weekend. Not sure what they're doing, so I don't know what is going on here with dinner. We're not playing Pinochle this weekend just because Doug has a couple early days and I know he's going to be busy working and be tired. So dinner tonight's up in the air. Dinner tomorrow night, we're going to grill burgers and dogs and that kind of stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I want to get coffee and tea started. And Doug requested cream chip beef on toast for breakfast. So that is what I am going to do and have it all ready for when he gets home from Bible study and daily mass. We've got the quintessential multitasking going on. Making peanut butter, mopping, and vacuuming. First batch of peanut butter done. I'm gonna make a second batch because we just go through it so quickly. You've seen me make this before. All you do in your food processor bowl, 2 cups of peanuts, a dash of salt, and then process it until it's smooth. I start it on low, I'll go to medium, I'll hit it on high once in a while. Now my food processor, when you hit them like buttons, it'll go for 1 minute. So I just hit it and let it go. And I would say, Andrew was doing this for me. I would say he probably processed it about what, 12 times?
Something like that.
About 12 minutes, so. Did not even bother washing it in between because it's the same stuff that's in there. I'm just gonna add a dash, that's good, of salt. Put the lid on. Oh, you put it on different this time. It's confusing me. For breakfast, I'm gonna make cream chipped beef. So I have some butter melted in my skillet, adding in the flour and cooking that for about a minute or so until the flour is cooked. And then I'm gonna slowly incorporate the milk. This is just making a white sauce as the carrier for the chipped beef. It's a dried chipped beef when you make cream chipped beef. So I'm just going to keep stirring in our milk until it gets nice and thick. And that's all you want. You just want a nice thick white roux cream sauce. And once it starts thickening up, you can take your dried beef and just break it up in there. Okay, there is our beautiful, nice and thick cream dried beef. I have a slice of homemade sourdough. This is a sourdough sandwich bread. And we are just gonna top it and enjoy. Second batch is done. We have a new peanut butter maker now in the house because this has been the absolute best peanut butter we have ever made. And I think it's because Andrew has a little more patience than I do. Shocking. But it is beautiful. It is perfect. And there it is. So I think next time, I'm trying to figure out, I think we need to do 3 cups of peanuts to do a pint jar.
Yes,
So,
I think that ratio will work out very well.
3 cups of peanuts. We always do 2 cups of peanuts, and that fills like the half. So, but then a little more than half, I guess, because doing a whole second one just gives us a little too much. So, yeah, we'll mess with that. But we got a new peanut butter maker in town. I've created a monster. Now Andrew wants to do all the butters because he enjoyed making that peanut butter so much. So into my Azure cart just went a 5-pound bag of sunflower seeds because he wants to try making sun butter, so sunflower butter. So you know what? I love that they like to experiment in the kitchen. Both my boys like to cook, and I like that. So I'm going to clean up from breakfast and get upstairs and put my clean sheets on, and the house will pretty much be completely clean, for 5 minutes, because that's what happens, right? We finished breakfast. Doug's home. I think he's working on his puzzles. Working on your puzzles?
I didn't for.
The Wordle?
Yes.
So did I. That was a tough word today.
It was a tough word.
I mean, it was a common word, but
Not a word yet.
not a word. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go finish cleaning up, and then I am going to go outside and help this guy dig up an irrigation line. Actually, while he's doing that, I may do some yard cleanup. We'll see, but I am just so freaking excited about this patio. I cannot wait.
Me too.
The waiting is killing me because I just want to start using it. Of course, the weather hasn't been conducive to that, but hopefully the weather will stay nice so they can do it because they need a week of no rain. So we'll see. Hello, ladies. What do you have to tell me? Nothing? They're enjoying the fact that Doug has the ground broken up. because they are digging for worms. There's our Mabel girl.
I fed them a worm and they walked away from it.
You're kidding.
Yes. Like I found one right there. I gave it to one of them.
Oh, wait, maybe. I don't know if you can hear what he's saying. I forgot it was far away.
Yeah. I found the worm in the ground, so I got it in my hand and I gave it to one of the chickens. She looked at it and walked away.
Usually they fight over them.
I know.
And rip them apart.
I know. I guess they weren't interested. I don't know.
I guess not.
I guess it's more the fun of the hunt.
Yeah, that's true. Instead of having it handed to you.
Yeah.
You know, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day kind of thing.
Yeah. They want to find it themselves.
We have the meat birds. We open them up and let them out, but they're not quite as active.
They just want to be near the food.
They just want to be near the food. So yeah, we've got a gate here because I keep the babies out of that area. That area, I mean, you can see it gets decimated. But this is where they're going to be bringing the concrete through for the patio. So we are not going to plant seed or lay sod or anything until the patio's done, because it'll just get, you know, a hot mess. So what he is doing, there's the irrigation line. He got that undug, and now we're digging a new trench, and you see where it was? It's going to come all the way out here and down, because our patio will come out to about here. It's coming out 12 foot from the house and 24 foot long. So as wide as the house is, and it goes past the door. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice sized patio. We're thinking maybe a little seating area there, depending on how much room is there once the steps go in, because the steps are going to be Trex deck and they're going to go 6 foot, not 4 foot or 3 foot. Table here and probably grilling stuff over there. I don't know. We'll see when we get our everything together. Garden's looking good, but needs to be weeded. It is quite chilly out today. I am going to finish up in the house. I'm almost done, and then probably come out here and give Doug a hand. Andrew helped me clean the house. He was a huge help. He wanted to come out and help Doug, but Doug's like, it's kind of a one-man job right now, so he helped me instead. And Adam is on his way home from Maryland. He picked up Bella. We thought it was going to be an easy pickup. Her brother was supposed to be racing crew in Jersey this weekend, but unfortunately they didn't qualify for the finals. It was a big shock to everyone that they didn't qualify for the finals. So Bella's mom drove halfway and Adam drove halfway. So they're on their way home now. So hopefully we'll have a great weekend. So once we do the patio, this forsythia bush is going to go. We thought we were going to have to dig it out, and they're like, nope, we'll take care of everything. So we thought about replanting it somewhere else, but I don't think we're going to. I might just put it up on, if they get it out in one piece with the roots still on it, I might put it up on Gibbstown Giving. So we'll see. There's Mabel, the OG. She has been hanging around Doug this entire time. She likes to be the foreman. She likes to be the boss. She likes to know what's going on. And she's been pretty much hanging around him the whole time he's been working. When we do any type of digging projects like this, we find lots of cement and pieces of brick, because before we built this house here, there was a house here that was demolished. And they didn't do a great job cleaning up. So we find all kind of stuff buried. This is oh wow, that's a big piece of brick.
And the builder used a cheap backfill when he built the house. Like he found whatever he could find to fill in. Cheap stuff.
Yeah, so we find all kind of stuff. We found some pretty cool stuff. We found some bottles and some like really old, remember that little old toy tractor? Yeah, we have found some pretty cool stuff, but mostly it's all just junk. I'm waiting to hit a treasure chest. What? I know. We worry about that. That there's like a buried oil tank somewhere, and yeah, that would be really, really bad. Really bad. Doug said he's good for the moment, so I came in to make the pasta for dinner tonight. So I'm going to get that done, then I'm going to go out and clean the chicken coop. He's getting there. He's dug out all the way. Now he just has to dig over. Andrew's on his way out to help. Andrew just got done all his stuff. The meat birds are living their best life. Girls are still living their best life, and I'm going to go clean out their coop so they'll have a nice, clean, poop-free coop. Woohoo! Look who's here!
Oh, I almost fell.
So excited to see her. And they did not plan
We
this.
did not, I promise.
What did you do when she got out of the car? What did you?
I looked at her, I was like, oh, that's cool.
I got out the car, I was like, oh, this is cute.
They totally did not plan it. But Adam representing the brand, you know? How was your drive?
Easy. Traffic going home, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, it's Memorial Day weekend. How was their breakfast?
I had so much food. You didn't see it yet. I had...
Oh, did you vlog it?
No,
Oh.
I sent a
I
picture.
sent you a photo.
Oh, did you?
I had
Watch.
a piece of French toast, a pancake, and a burger with fries. And we had mozzarella sticks before that.
Those are so good.
Did you finish her meal too?
No.
I ate mine. I ate all mine.
Well, we're hoping to go to breakfast tomorrow too, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
I have
But
a big appetite, don't worry.
good. Well, good to see you both. Sorry for the voiceover. They had their music playing really loud. They got the one side completely done from the house out, and now they're going from out to the garden, and they're really moving very, very quickly. I'm surprised. I'm waiting to head to the grocery store. I just have to wait for Adam and Bella to leave, and then Doug to move his car, and I'm out of here. I need a few things for dinner. Okay, I am heading out real quick. I need to go to Aldi to get some blue cheese to make some blue cheese dressing and a watermelon because we're out of watermelon. And I also have to stop at Kohl's, which is on the same road just down the other end. I really could wait until tomorrow to do Kohl's. You know what? I'm not going to Kohl's. I'm too lazy. I'll go tomorrow because I'm going to be right over there tomorrow anyway for church. And church is literally a mile from Kohl's. I bought some new rugs for the boys' bathroom, so I just did it online for store pickup. But yeah, I'm blowing that off. So we're just going to go to Aldi and pick up a few things and call it done. I did not even put makeup on. A little bit of lip gloss, that's it. The older I get, the less I care about going out and looking like I do. Yeah. So I did change my pants though and my hoodie because they were completely covered in dust from the chicken coop. So I did do that. So yeah, yay for the win. But I think I have to just double check the recipe for the buffalo chicken. Police activity, I was being nosy. I just have to double check the recipe for the buffalo chicken. I know I have everything for it except for the blue cheese. That's why I'm buying blue cheese. Although maybe I'll just make ranch because Adam likes ranch in it. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm not too concerned. I think we're going to go out for ice cream tonight. Adam has been wanting to take Bella to Lotteria, the place we go for the homemade ice cream, and their hours are very sketchy. Like they're not open Sunday and Monday, so we have to go tonight. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, I think. As long as they're open. I didn't check to see if they were open. As long as they're open, we're gonna go tonight. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you. Doug and Andrew are making quick work of the irrigation hose, so that's good. I got the chicken coop all done, so nobody else has to do that. And yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Adam was feeling guilty. I'm like, dude, do not feel guilty. Number one, you helped me yesterday do stuff. And number two, your girlfriend's here. Like, enjoy the time with her, because this will probably be the last time he sees her before boot camp. And then I believe she's going to try to come down the weekend he comes home from boot camp. He graduates on August 8th. it's a Friday. So I think the plan may be, I'm not sure yet, for Doug and I to go get her. She doesn't have her own car, and for her to take one of the cars for the whole weekend, like a family car, it's hard on the family. So normally her mom or dad drive her halfway and Adam drives halfway, and then it works out. So I'm thinking that Thursday night we'll drive halfway, pick her up, bring her Thursday night, and then Friday, she'll go down the shore with us to Adam's graduation and then spend the weekend with us. I think that's the plan. We will see. But hopefully it'll all work out. And because I think the weekend after that is move-in at school. So I'm sure it's not that weekend because that's really early. So hopefully it'll all work out and she'll be able to go to his graduation and see him when he gets home. So we'll see. But I'm going to go and get to Aldi. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. We are heading to church. Adam is reading the second reading. I am reading the first reading, so we have to be there a little bit early.
Don't lock that back door yet.
I'm not locking that back door yet. And then after that, we are hopefully going to breakfast. So we will see how that pans out. I'm just afraid it's going to be packed. We will see. We'll go somewhere. I just don't know where. Sorry. So I will bring you about our day and let you know what we're doing, because I don't even know. We just got home from church and breakfast. It was wonderful. I did not film because it was just family time. So put the phone away and just enjoyed my guys. But now we need to get to work. So I have some things to make for today. We are just cooking out. We're just gonna have some burgers and some dogs, but I need to make the buns. I'm using the same buns for the burgers and the dogs, just a different shape. I also need to make a little bit of German potato salad. I made the spaghetti salad and the macaroni salad yesterday. It was too chaotic here to even try to film, so I did not do that. But the spaghetti salad is spaghetti and seasoning, the McCormick seasoning, and some Italian dressing I just whipped up. And the macaroni salad I made before for you guys. The recipe's on the website. Today I'm going to make a little German potato salad, but probably not until later. I'm going to do the buns. The first thing I need to do is get some bone broth going. I know it's all I do is make bone broth. But Jason gave me another bag of chicken backs, and I am trying to keep the freezer free of anything that doesn't need to be in there, because in like 3 or 4 weeks, it'll be filled with the meat birds. So I have all these chicken backs. Now, normally I like to mix chicken backs with chicken feet and bones from our chickens that we roast, like our homegrown roasted chickens. But I don't have either of those, and I want to impart some flavor. So I'm going to do what I do with my beef bones, and I am going to roast the chicken backs. So let me show you what I'm going to do with that. So I have about half the chicken backs, which is 9 of them. And I am just going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to use my hands and zhuzh it around just to make sure they are all covered. And then we're going to have to stop and wash our hands. Oh, I should have probably put a little bit more on. Let me wash my hands. Okay, I put a little bit more oil on, got washed up again, and now I'm just going to salt and pepper. You can use any kind of spices you want, but I like a basic broth. I don't really like it flavored because I use it for so many different things, and I can always flavor it up when I use it if I want to. So we are just gonna salt and pepper, and we are gonna toss these into a 400-degree oven for 45 minutes to an hour, just to get some nice color and caramelization on there, because that equals flavor. So in they go. One of these days, I'm going to record a video where I actually do everything right. One of these days. So I started the hamburger buns and didn't have the camera on. So in my bowl here, I have a cup of milk, 3/4 cup of water, a 1/2 cup of melted butter, 3 tablespoons of honey, Now, the recipe also calls to put the salt in now. I don't put that in until I'm kneading. And you just have to heat it to between 100 and 105 degrees. Then to this, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of instant yeast, and we're gonna let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes until it gets foamy. So 2 tablespoons of yeast. And we are gonna give that a little mix and mix. And then just give it time for that yeast to bloom. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to get my mixer out and start getting my flour ready. Okay, our yeast is bloomed beautifully. So I am going to pour our liquid mixture right into our mixer. You want your dough hook on your mixer. I am using my Bosch today, not my KitchenAid. I tend to reach for my Bosch more when I make breads and my KitchenAid when I make sweet stuff. I'm not sure why, but this is a workhorse, that's probably why. So once we have that in there, we're gonna add in 2 cups of flour to start. Oh, looks like I'm gonna have to go fill my flour while this is mixing. We're gonna add in 2 cups. And we're gonna let that stir until it's nice and smooth. Okay, that's looking good. So now we're gonna add 2 to 3 more cups of flour. I'm gonna start with 2. See what that looks like. I do believe I always add the full 5. Yeah, that's going to be wet. I'm going to let that go, see what this looks like for about a minute or so. Then we're going to put the speed up to 2 on a Bosch, 4 on a KitchenAid to knead. First, I just want to see how this is looking. A little sticky. It says to add sprinkles of flour as needed. So I'm just going to sprinkle in just a little bit more. And we're going to let that go and knead it for about 8 minutes. Our dough is all kneaded, so I am just going to put it in a greased bowl and we're going to let it rise for about 10 minutes. The dough rose beautifully, so we are just going to get it out of the bowl. We are going to flour our counter a little bit. We are going to roll out our dough to a 1/2 inch thickness. And yes, you know I'm going to be pulling out the ruler. You would think after all of this time and all this bread making and roll making and cookie making that I would be good at eyeballing it. I'm not. I keep saying I'm going to buy one of those rolling pins that have the guides on the ends, and I don't, because I'm cheap. So we just eyeball it, and then we measure it. Pretty darn perfect. So now I'm going to take a wide mouth mason jar lid and start cutting. I've showed you this recipe before. This recipe comes from Ruth Ann Zimmerman over at Homesteading with the Zimmermans. And we really like this recipe. So we are just gonna cut these out. But I'm gonna stop there with the buns, with the burger buns. And I bought this handy dandy cookie cutter. And I'm gonna try making hot dog buns with the same recipe using this cutter. What do I have to lose, right? I probably, in hindsight, should have done a double batch because we really enjoy these buns for so many things. We use these for burgers. We use these sometimes for breakfast sandwiches. We also use them for just turkey sandwiches, turkey and cheese, or tuna. They're very, very versatile. I am just going to put these barely touching. I'll show you when I'm done. Onto a parchment lined sheet, and we're going to let them rise for 30 minutes. I'm going to re-roll these scraps and then cut out some more buns. I think, don't quote me, but I think when I just do all burger buns, I get about 2 dozen from this recipe. And once they're baked, I let them cool. I use what we're going to use. And then I wrap each one individually and freeze them put them all in a freezer bag. And then I can just pull out when I need them, and it is so incredibly convenient. I probably shouldn't have mixed and matched, but on the cookie sheet, I probably should have stuck with all the same, but that's okay. They'll be fine. So we're gonna just cover those, let them go for a half an hour. I'm gonna finish with all these, put these guys on a cookie sheet, and then re-roll these, and definitely get some more buns out of it. I think that's all the hot dog buns I'm gonna do. Our hot dogs that we buy come in packs of 5. I did 6 buns. I don't even know if they're gonna work out. We'll see. Andrew's worried they won't stay hinged, and I totally understand where he's coming from with that. So we'll have to just wait and see. Okay, all I can say is wow. So while our buns are rising, our chicken backs got done roasting, and look at that beautiful, beautiful color on there. I think this is going to make for a very, very delicious bone broth. I think it's going to add so much flavor. Just like when we have the carcasses from the roast chicken, I think they add more flavor, but this is definitely going to be a game changer, I think. So I'm very excited about this. And what was nice also is I did drain it. A lot of the fat rendered off, so it won't be in the broth. Because I do skim my broth, because you don't want to can all that fat. I mean, fat is flavor, and I don't mind a little bit, but I don't want a ton. So I am just putting these, I know I'm not even in the frame probably. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm just putting these into my big roaster. I did 9 backs. Hindsight, definitely could have done more, but that's okay. It is what it is for now. I'm gonna scrape some of these bits up and get those in there, because once again, flavor. I will show you that once I get it ready. I'm going to fill it with water. I already have carrots and celery in there. I need to put an onion in, and then we will just let that go for about anywhere from 12 to 18 hours. There we go. I got to get my onion and water in there, and salt and pepper. Not the greatest angle, but you get the point. So I have my water in. I'm going to add salt. I know it looks like I'm adding a lot of salt, but this is 40 cups of water, so it's a lot of water. And then we're going to add some black pepper, just a little bit. just to impart a little bit of flavor. We're gonna put our lid on. I have it set at 250 right now because I want to bring this to a boil, but then we'll turn it down and we'll let it simmer. And tomorrow we'll have beautiful broth. Before I get started on the strawberries, I want to get our potatoes boiling for our German potato salad. So I have 3 pounds of potatoes in my pot here. I need to put a little bit more water in. I try to get the same size potatoes so they all cook at the same rate, but unfortunately that didn't really happen today because I was trying to use up some older potatoes and had to supplement with some newer potatoes. So it'll be fine. I'll just take out the ones that are cooked. You want them tender but not mushy because we're going to peel them and dice them up for the potato salad. So I'm going to let it go about 15 minutes once it boils to the start, and then keep checking them. I use a thin blade knife to check them. So for my strawberries, I do have a strawberry huller, but I'm just going to slice them with a knife because I'm going to use the tops. So I don't mind if there's a little bit of the strawberry that's still on there. We're going to make some more simple syrup. Every time I have cut up strawberries, I save the tops. Now I'll have this whole quart worth of tops. If I'm just doing like 5 or 6 strawberries for someone's lunch, I put the tops in a container in the fridge. And then when the container of strawberries is gone or when the container of tops is full, then I take those and I make the simple syrup. And you've seen me do that. It's just the strawberry tops, equal parts strawberry tops, sugar, and water. And I let it cook. I let it cook for a while, to be honest with you. I let it simmer, very, very slowly simmer, pretty much until there's no color left in these tops. So all that flavor is out and into the syrup. I don't know, maybe a half hour. I don't know how long. I just kind of wing it. And then I just store the simple syrup in a jar in the fridge. And when I want to make strawberry lemonade, I just do the jar of simple syrup. And then usually it's 1 part simple syrup to 3 or 4 parts of water. Once again, depends on how strong flavored the syrup is. And then I just pour lemon juice in. I use the Lakeland Organic Pure Lemon Juice, just because I'm too lazy to juice lemons. And I pour that in and I keep tasting it until it gets to the way we like it. So, sorry there's not a better recipe. You can probably find one online. I just kind of wing it. These berries are gorgeous. These are Jersey berries. These are not California or Florida. These were picked fresh from the field yesterday, and they are gorgeous. So I'm just going to finish cutting these up, and
What's going on down here?
I think I have some people that want some strawberries, so I won't cut them all up. I'll save some for Adam and Bella. Once I get done this, I'm going to hit them with a little bit of sugar because I want them to macerate. I want that nice juice that we can pour over our pound cake. Okay, our buns are nice and risen. So I am just going to brush them lightly with an egg wash. This is not in the original recipe. I like to do it. And then some of the buns, some of the round hamburger buns, we're going to put some sesame seeds on. Other ones we'll just leave plain. Then we're going to put them in the oven at 375. Oh, that's a big one. This is the one that was just left over. That's why it's all funny looking. We're going to put them in the oven at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes, give or take. I just keep my eye on them, and when they're nice and golden brown, I pull them out. They don't get super, super brown, but they get perfect, so. These are a little bit thicker than I normally make them. I don't like a big, huge bun, honestly. I like a more meat to bun ratio. Okay. I think I'm gonna put sesame seeds on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I'll put them on all of them but 4. I like sesame seeds on my hamburger buns, so that's what we'll do. Oh, I'm out of shot, sorry. And I'm not putting them on the hot dog buns. So there they have it. They're gonna go in the oven, like I said, 375, 10 to 12 minutes. Our strawberries are all cut up, and I'm just gonna add in a little bit of sugar, because we want that sugar to activate the juices in the strawberries, because we want them to get nice and syrupy and juicy. Because that's the way we like our strawberry shortcake. I am not making a pound cake or biscuits or anything, shortcakes, to put this over. We still have the pound cake from the fundraiser. So I am making it easy on myself. And I'm just going to pull out some pieces of that, make up some fresh whipped cream, and we will enjoy it for dessert. There we have it. Okay, so for our strawberry tops, there is 1 cup of strawberry tops. So I'm going to do 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. We're going to give those a good stir. Actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit more water. Yeah, that's not enough water. I told you, I really don't have a recipe. I just kind of wing it. I do what looks good, what feels good, and I apologize for that, but yeah, 2 cups of water. There we go. That's good. We're going to bring this to a boil and then turn it down to a nice light simmer. Okay, our buns are out and they look fantastic. They're definitely thicker than I normally make them. I think I'm going to have to pay attention next time. Maybe I don't do a whole 1/2 inch. Maybe I do a little bit less. I'm not sure, but I know they're going to be absolutely delicious. So they're done. This is definitely getting hot. Hasn't boiled yet. And then our strawberries are simmering. And our potatoes have about a minute before I check them to see which ones can be pulled. While I am slaving away in the kitchen. No, I'm kidding. It is my happy place. You know that. Doug is in his happy place. Already, what has it been? 1 week? 2 weeks? Weed in the garden.
I guess it's been 2 weeks, I guess.
We had so much rain that the weeds were just growing like crazy. So he's just using his little garden tool. He doesn't have to get down on his hands and knees or anything because they're nice and small little weeds. I forget what this garden tool's called.
I don't know, it's pretty cool. You just kind of run along the ground and it pulls the weeds right up.
We bought that for him for Father's Day 1 year.
Yeah, it works really well for soft ground.
So now over there, the onions, they're going to have to be hand weeded. They got a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
And we also need to pick some lettuce for dinner tonight.
Yes, we do.
To put on our hamburgers. Plus, we just need to pick some lettuce.
Yeah.
Because it is... The romaine is getting out of hand. So we just pick leaves off. We don't pick a whole head.
Yeah.
And then it kind of regenerates itself. So, and the girls are out enjoying the day. And luckily Doug came out here because apparently, and Adam remembered, this morning when Adam and I did the meat birds, we were working on one end, the door end, and then we went down the other end. And Adam shut the door but didn't latch it. And yeah, they're all out. Doug came outside and they were all just kind of out and hanging outside and enjoying. So that is 100% what we like them to do. Do we have a pasture? No. Is this as close as pasture raised as we can get? Absolutely. So they're enjoying the day. And these goofballs who have filled waterers in their coop are pecking at the hose to get the little drips off of it. Yeah, how goofy they are. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little concerned when we get the patio that they're going to take it over. But you know what? We can hose it off. We can power wash it off. But Doug doesn't think that they're really going to go up there much. He thinks in the beginning they will because they're curious. But he thinks that once they realize that there's nothing up there to peck and nothing up there to go after, that they'll just not even leave it alone. So, hello, No Tail. This is No Tail. It's actually not her name. Her name is Chino. But we call her No Tail because she has no tail feathers. So, they are out here enjoying their best life. Doug is out here enjoying his best life, and I'm going to go back inside and do some more cooking. Our strawberry syrup is done. You can see how the strawberries have definitely lost some color. And let me see if I can get some of the syrup. Look at that beautiful color. It's not coming through on the camera as beautiful as it is in real life. But it is a beautiful, rich red color. So I'm just going to let that cool down a bit. We'll strain it off through a sieve. And as I'm straining it, I'm pushing on the strawberry pieces to get every last bit out. And I used to store it in a mason jar. When it cools down, I'll store it in the fridge. And then when we want to have some delicious strawberry lemonade, I'll just mix it right up. Our potatoes are cooked and they're cooling just until they're easy to handle. And I have to get started on the sauce or the juice for them, but right now I'm trying to edit a video. So the first thing we're going to do for our German potato salad, well, I guess the second thing, because we cooked the potatoes, is cook our bacon. We're not going to need the whole pound of bacon, but I'm going to cook it all and then just keep it in the fridge and we'll use it this week. But we do need the bacon grease. So I'm hoping that this is nice greasy bacon, because that is going to be the base of our juice. That's what my mom always called it, the juice for the German potato salad. Okay, we are going to make the juice, the sauce for our potato salad. So I have bacon grease in there, not all of it. I have it from about 6 slices. I'm going to add in some water, some sugar, white vinegar, all the measurements are on the website. I'm kind of just salt and pepper. And we are just going to let this cook a little and reduce. We'll give it a taste. Make sure it has enough salt. Make sure it has enough vinegar. Just going to let that cook for a minute. And then we'll start assembling our salad. Okay, this is done. I added a little bit more water. Like I said, taste it, see if you like it, adjust it. That's all I can tell you. There's really no recipe for this. You just kind of have to go for it. So let's get this assembled. So in our bowl, I just sliced up about 1/3 of the potatoes, and I added a little bit of chopped celery and a little bit of chopped onion. And now I'm going to salt and pepper. And then we're going to take 2 slices of bacon. And break those up. And then we're going to take a little bit of our juice. I transferred the juice into a measuring cup just to make it easier on myself. We're just going to pour a little bit of that in there. And we're going to give it a stir. You want to stir gently. You don't want to break up those potatoes. That's why we're doing it in layers. And these potatoes will soak in the juice. So if you think you put a little too much, it'll be fine. And then we're going to add more anyway. So I'm just going to add another layer of potatoes. Okay. We'll do one more. And then we'll do salt and pepper. A little more bacon. Little salt, celery. We already did the salt and pepper. A little bit of celery. A little bit of onion. I don't use a whole lot of onion because my family's not big on raw onion. A little bit of juice. A little stir. If you have juice left over and you think, it's too much to use, just hang on to it because you might have to add a little bit more before you serve it. Now, you are not going to refrigerate this. This is to be served either warm or room temperature, not cold. And sometimes it will soak in the sauce and the juice, and you need to add a little bit more. So I'm going to go finish up another layer, and I'll show you when it's done. Okay, here is dinner. We've got spaghetti salad, macaroni salad, German potato salad, burgers and dogs, sauerkraut, accoutrements, and the buns. So dig in. Well, I wanted to film this, and everybody was downstairs cleaning up, and we were talking and joking around and having fun, and I just started cooking because it's what I do. So I did not film this. It is French toast casserole for the morning. It is a loaf of challah bread sliced. And then you mix up 8 eggs, 3 cups of milk, a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of vanilla, and a dash of salt. Dunk the bread in it, put the bread in the pan, and then pour the rest of the egg mixture over top. Sprinkle some sugar and cinnamon and dot it with butter. And then it sits overnight and the bread soaks in all that wonderful egg mixture and it all puffs up. And then you bake it and it is delicious. And this is what is for breakfast in the morning for the crew. I'm also going to make some sausage. I fed my sourdough about an hour ago. And it was like here. And it is up there. It is going to overflow, I am sure. I'm not quite sure if it's at peak yet, so I'm going to give it like another half hour and just keep an eye on it. I want to make some bread. I want to make 2 loaves of sandwich bread. One for us and one for Bella to take home to her family. So I will mix that up tonight and bake it in the morning. Okay, almost done for the night. This guy is setting up a new sound bar because our old one crapped out on us. It's been giving us issue for months and it finally just pretty much crapped out. So he is working on setting that up and I am mixing up some bread. This is sourdough sandwich bread. Oh my gosh, I fed my starter and it was like bubbling over the top. So time to make the bread. In our bowl, we have 65 grams of starter and 300 grams of warm water. To that, we're gonna add 56 grams of sugar. And we're going to give that a good mix. This is my favorite sourdough sandwich bread. I have had amazing results with it every time. The recipe is from a website called The Feathered Nester. I also use her recipe for my sourdough bowls too. But I have had great success with this. Now we're adding in 500 grams of flour. I really want to take my time and experiment with fresh milled flour, but that's a summer project, I think. Just when I have time to really make notes and figure out what works and what doesn't. Next, we're going to add in 20 grams of olive oil. And 9 grams of salt. We are going to mix, mix, mix. I start with my whisk, my dough whisk, but then I get in there with my hands and really make sure it's well combined. Oop, it looks like Doug has done the sound bar. I'll have to have instructions on how to work it, because it's different than our old one. Our old one had a little display so I could see exactly what was going on. This one does not have a display. Okay. So I get all that flour mixed in there. And now we are going to leave these sit on the counter covered just with a cloth because it's only going to be for 45 minutes. We're going to do some stretch and folds, and then we're just going to let it rest overnight to bulk ferment. So we will be back in 45 minutes to stretch. Okay, everything is done for the night.
Thunderstorm.
Is that thunder or is
Yeah.
that?
I think it was.
Or is that lightning? Oh my god! Or not lightning? Fireworks.
No, it's definitely.
So we decided to teach Ms. Bella here how to play dominoes. So the very first round of Mexican trained dominoes, yeah, she won.
Beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck. So we'll have to, you know. And we had dessert, and I forgot to show you. There's Adam's empty plate.
Yeah.
It was yummy.
There you go.
It was yummy. So it was just the Stocks pound cake with the berries I made earlier, and Doug made up a whipped cream. So yummy, yummy. But we are going to go and continue our game. We slept in a little bit this morning. It is now Monday morning. And I was like, oh my gosh, the bread, it's going to overproof. So I didn't even turn the camera on. I just came down, slapped it out of the bowl, put it into loaf shapes, and put it right into the pan. So, I mean, that's easy enough to do. So that's gonna, I have it sitting in the sun. I usually let it rise for 2 to 3 hours before I bake it. So that'll just sit here for a while. Breakfast casserole is out of the oven. First batch of sausage done, second batch of sausage going, and we're gonna enjoy breakfast. Our broth cooked all night. It's looking really good. Look at that beautiful rich color. I think for now on, I will always, always roast the bones. So I am just going to let this cool down a bit, strain it off, but that can be done later on after breakfast, after everything's cleaned up and I get the rest of my chicken chores and stuff done. Okay, got all of the chicken broth in jars. I'm gonna just let it cool, put it in the fridge and let it sit there for a few days because I'm not gonna have time to can this up until later in the week. And that way this fat will solidify on top. I'll be able to pull it right off and get this beautiful broth canned up and on the shelf. The bread is out of the oven. It looks fantastic. I'm gonna let it cool in the pans for 10 minutes and then take it out. I still have to cut that watermelon up, but our refrigerator is absolutely jam-packed. We have a ton of leftovers and we need to eat them. I think that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. So, yeah. Adam and Bella went out to a local coffee shop, and I think they were going to go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx too. Doug and I are just out here, just kind of doing a little bit yard cleanup, and we're going to put the tomato cages in. We're still talking about the trellis for the cucumbers. We think we want to do something different. And we're just kind of talking about yard plans. So, you know, we're doing the patio. They got the irrigation line moved. The patio will be here and the new steps. And I think what we're going to do, we talked about. So this area here between the house and the fence, this is where we keep the meat birds when we have them. I think once the meat birds are gone and once the patio is done, because this is where they're going to bringing in all the concrete and stuff. So this area is just going to get trashed again. I think when it's all done, we talked about maybe laying some sod. And then what I would like to do in this area is put the playhouse, the slide, the picnic table, and the little Tykes cars. But I mean, they would bring those out into the big yard to play, but kind of making that the kids' space and not having it in my backyard. So that's one of the things we talked about. We're hoping that this is the summer of the backyard. That's what we're hoping. Another thing we talked about, Doug has to do a little bit of repair on the grow out coop. And I'd like to paint that to match the big coop. But another big project we've talked about, let me turn you around. There is zero grass here because this is where the chickens come out and everything. So we talked about putting pavers through this whole area back here. Now this is where the bees will go. So I don't know what we'll do about the compost. This tree is growing into the fence. That's a whole nother situation that we're trying to remedy, but it's not going well. We're thinking about putting the compost bins, this is just chicken compost, up against that fence and putting the beehive here. That's the thought. We are not going to go crazy with beehives like we did with chickens. We're going to have probably one large hive or two small hives, but we want to do these pavers all here, and all here. So this whole area back here up to the edge of the chicken coop will be the either 12 by 12, 14 by 14, 16 by 16, whatever, pavers. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. So that's another project. So we've got a lot of projects we want to do. I just don't know what we'll get to. So we will see. But yep, hopefully this is the summer of the backyard. It is 4 o'clock and we are finally showered.
Not even 4 o'clock.
Not even 4 o'clock? Oh, 3:45?
Yes.
Oh, I read my watch wrong. We are finally showered. We mowed the lawn. Yes, I helped.
Yes, she did.
And we weed whacked and all the things. Adam is on his way to take Bella home. He's hoping he can see her one more time before he ships out, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. Yeah. But we're contriving that maybe she can come up for his graduation. So that would be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
And spend the weekend. She's a military child. Her parents were both in the military, so this isn't exactly strange to her. So,
right.
But we are showered. I'm already in pajamas. I don't care. It's 4 o'clock. We're only doing leftovers for dinner, and we're just done for the day, right?
Yeah, probably.
You're gonna do some
homework.
Some homework.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a refrigerator to clean out because it is packed. but I figure I'll wait till tonight when I pack lunches. I'm going to pack lunches, clean out the refrigerator, and get ready for babies because I have 4 tomorrow. I know.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Leo's mom texted me and said, hey, can you keep the baby? She's only 8 weeks, so she's pretty easy. She likes to be worn in the Moby, so worst comes to worst, I can strap her to me. And it's supposed to be a beautiful day, so we will be outside as much as we can.
Yep.
Say a few extra prayers. Doug has his cancer blood test tomorrow, his Natera test.
No problem. Of course she worries.
Of course I worry. So a few extra prayers that it is negative, and we can wait another 3 months for the next one.
Right.
So that is it. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, for taking time out of your busy day, and I will catch you in the next video.